That doesn't mean that you shouldn't still watch it.
What he said.
Just
Welcome
a warning.
to the Renian Show.
Apropos of nothing.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Velkyn Weave, where we're a bunch of nerds. No, I'm just kidding. We're artists, analysts, engineers, writers, performers, and we get together and play D&D here on Wednesday nights. I'm so glad you're joining us. If this is your first time in the Games Tavern, we welcome you. Don't forget to follow the Games Tavern on Twitch. It's free, it supports the show and all the cast and crew. You can watch us live on Twitch, and all shows are uploaded to YouTube typically 48 hours later. And eventually, we will be available on various podcast outlets throughout the world. Before we get into the game, we have some announcements. So I'm going to throw it over to Michelle to let us know who our sponsors are tonight.
Once again, a huge thanks to tabletopaudio.com for providing tonight's music and most other nights' music, ambiance, and sound effects for the show. You can use Tabletop Audio in your own campaigns by going to tabletopaudio.com and choosing from over 220 music and ambiance tracks. Or check out the sound pad options to create your own custom sound pad. We think so highly of Tabletop Audio that we are Patreon supporters, and you should be too.
And remember, if you have Amazon Prime, you also get free Prime Gaming subscription, which you can use to show your support to the show, cast, and crew. Prime Gaming subscribers get access to more emotes and also access to a special subscriber-only Discord channel.
And I think it's time to get into the game. Bum, bum, bum. When last we left our intrepid heroes, the Velkyn Weave, we're living amongst the clouds with the Countess Sansuri of Lin Armal, the castle of the Cloud Giants. They met and they treated with both her brother, Count Thulin, and the Ghost Princess, the enigmatic spell-casting spectral wizard, possibly Lich, and discussed the upcoming events. The Countess was growing in vanity and had been pursuing the Sword Coast for dragon magic. Asturian Empire held dragon relics and artifacts that could lead to her ascension above the rest of the giants. There was also a conflict between the Cloud Giants and the Fire Giants growing and brewing, as the Fire Giants are seeking to construct a dragon-slaying, world-ending colossus known as the Vonendod. Within Linarmal, a large dragon, ancient dragon of the Sword Coast, Felgalos, aka the Flying Disaster, was being held. Before the wedding could occur, though, where Countess Sansuri was going to wed her own greatness in a vainglorious ritual, the castle was attacked. It was attacked by Red Hand Raiders, calling themselves the Warriors of the Wormsmoke Mountains. They invaded the Cloud Castle with a force of about 100 hobgoblins, bugbears, and various Red Hand warriors. Our party succeeded in freeing the dragon Fogalos and made their way back into the Evermoors, where they returned to the Wandering Tower of the Archmage Dionysia, also known as the Ghost Princess, where they were reunited with their lizard folk companions and recent converts of the goddess Timora, Deet and Tobias. And they made their way to the Calling Horns via a flying carpet. And so, let's get into our game tonight. As always, we have an opportunity to earn some inspiration, and we have provided our players with a monologue prompt for the evening where we can get some more insight into our characters. And our prompt for this evening is what you need for the journey. So we're going to do this popcorn style. I'll call on one of you, and you can call on the next person to go. Let us begin with Quentin, the Stargazer.
So the first thing that I'm doing is making sure that I keep my lies consistent. So as Blanche Lafayette for the last day, I'm taking some notes on the things that I said in case I need to refer to them later. And I'm doing this all in kind of a coded thieves' cant in case anyone gets their hands on my journal. But then I'm, refilling my pouches, making sure that I have stuff to keep up the cover story. And if I'm going to be Blanche, then I probably need to up the level of like my rations so they're not just common, trail food, and just make it a little bit more spectacular.
You copied down a couple of those vegan recipes from the Gross Princess's book, and it's like, well, this is what. There are probably a few ones in there where it's like underlined, this is Blanche's favorite dish, or this is the Countess's favorite main course.
And I didn't spend a whole lot of time with her, but I'm kind of building a little persona of her in my own head, so I'm sure I'll diverge a little bit, but I'm the true Blanche Lafayette. And Bope, what are you doing?
While Quentin is making sure he's not falling too deep down the rabbit hole, Bope is actually looking into his rabbit hole, which is his pocket in his cloak.
Oh, okay.
Just, checking on Mr. Peppers, making sure he stocks up on carrots when we get into the Calling Horns, reading through that book of just exquisite vegetarian recipes that he collected. And then also just kind of refilling his general collection of bric-a-brac as we walk through the woods, acorn shells, dead leaves, moss, things like that he uses as part of his spell components. Let's go.
Layperson, you look like a weirdo, but to us insiders,
He still looks like a
play
weirdo.
Dungeons and Dragons.
Exactly. Pick up a
Sure,
little
it all
moss,
has meaning.
take a little
Yeah.
bite, give some to Mr. Peppers, keep shuffling. How about Delirious?
So Delirious' first order is to procure nice dry socks because she went through all of them trudging through the swamp. Some bug repellent because that has recently proved itself a necessity. And then a lint roller for Nimble the carpet. Gotta keep him looking spiffy.
I assume that's like Nimble's favorite thing in the morning. The morning lint roll just feels so good.
It's like a curry brush for a horse.
Yes. Speaking of horse, Hell Whip will return tonight.
Yes. Corey looks. Corey, why don't you tell us what you're going to do to prepare for that?
So Eldon has not thought about. I have not thought about Hell Whip since we got back, and I'm certain if I run into that horse, it will in fact be a surprise. But Eldon is not doing a whole lot of unusual things to prepare for his journey. He's got his boots. Didn't get any water in them. He knows better than that. Maybe double check he's got enough rations. Hit up the general store, grab some more tack, something like that. But then he's going to want to ask around, talk to the people that know things about the area they're heading to. What can you tell me about, the terrain, or even just in the forest nearby where we're going to see, our good friend the Flying Disaster later.
That'll be the first scene we play after these monologues. You talking to people about the forest around you, because there'll be some interesting information.
This isn't my home. Not that familiar with this place, but before I actually get a feel for it, I'd like to have a read on it. So, Renyon, what you up to?
So Renyon, as is commonly seen, so Renyon is the type that he's not quite a big Boy Scout, but some may even look at it as a vain attempt at ensuring that his clothing is always, I wouldn't say impeccable, but at least quite serviceable and as clean as possible prior to every time that he leaves camp or leaves a town. This is for him more tied with the fact of, or for me, it's more tied to the fact that I want to ensure that my clothing maintains respectability, as I've spent time in Neverwinter. I've spent time in I just blanked on the northern Dwarfhold. In those
Citadel Felbar? Mirabar?
Mirabar. And in those places, what you appear to be is as important as what you are. And he has gained those lessons in I've gained those lessons in my time. And so I seek to keep all the cloak and the pants that I so acquired in Neverwinter looking bright, even though I myself maybe look a little disheveled. The weather-beaten skin, nature's taken its toll as he's been out on the road for many, many years now, or several years at least. That's the primary preparations for every journey for him, for me.
And so you all receive a point of inspiration for the
Huzzah.
excellent bringing us into the RP and getting more insights into every character's various perspective on the world. And for those of you joining us for the first time, each session we have an opportunity into the inside of the mind of our characters to help us buy into the world around us for the episode. And we're going to move the camera over to Eldon, and we're going to zoom in. And you have a choice of individuals that I'll let you talk to about the surrounding area. You can talk to the chef. There was the miraculous chef who kept an untidy kitchen. There was the horse-selling dwarf with the miraculous mustache and beard. Or you can talk to one of the 9 watchers. There are the watch people, essentially the local protectors of the region who helped finish off the trolls.
I think Eldon would probably go speak to one of the watchers. They got experience in this area. They know probably the most dangerous bits. They may embellish a little, but at least I'll be prepared for the worst, probably from what I hear from them.
So my question for you, Eldon, is do you want to talk to one that's been around here for a long time or one that's known to have loose lips?
One that's been around a long time. Value experience over someone willing to just gossip.
Okay. There is a striking woman with a streak of silver in her hair. It is a dark auburn color. She stands roughly, 5.5 feet tall. She's typically on patrol most day and night. And she likes to work double shifts. And she is known as being the best tracker through the forest. Her name is Eudoxia. And Eudoxia, I'll put that here in chat so you can see it and remember it. Eudoxia, she, as you approach, she goes, she's smoking a pipe too, which is classic, it's a long pipe. And she's like, you were among those that constricted and killed the trolls, are you not?
Yeah, the constricting part was my boy. Yeah.
She offers you her pipe too. She'll share it with you for doing it. She's like, well, ask and you shall receive. What do you want to know?
I'll sidle up at the table next to her and accept the pipe.
She's actually, so this will be positioned, it's behind sort of the inn in the shadow. She's keeping out of the heat of the day.
Gotcha.
And her eyes are fixed on what would be sort of like the northeastern point going into the wood.
I'll just lean against the wall next to her then. That'll work. I'll have a couple puffs. Wait a second. Pass it back to her.
Yeah, she takes
Says, thank you. See, you're still keeping an eye on the forest, huh? Even on your break?
Well, in these times, one can hardly afford to take a break. No trolls have attacked since you most recently came, but I tell you what, even though this might be a backwoods, squalid town, I mean, I like it, it's nice, don't get me wrong. The locals will not settle down. It's that outrageous dwarf with his marvelous mustache. He had an accident the other day. Now, those of you that have been in the inn, you've seen his beard is gone. There's nothing but stubble trying to grow back. He's missing his eyebrows, too. He was trying a new, essentially, beard shine enhancer, and he had read some things. Rumor says he was looking into some scrolls he shouldn't have. And he truly believed that if he set his beard on fire, it would improve the sheen.
That Life Hacks magazine is a sham.
That's the word around town. Others say that his gnome didn't like the way he was treating him, and the gnome groom pulled a prank on him. However, these are just rumors.
Equally plausible.
But we've heard strange cries recently, screams coming from the sky, unlike any that I've ever heard in my life.
Sky, not from the woods or the swamp?
We don't know anything about that.
Well, in the direction of the Evermoors, but every now and then there'd be great bellowing and cries. It would just echo throughout the air. Not too sure what it would be. Maybe a wyvern, but if it was one that was in a great deal of pain.
Yeah, I don't reckon you have to worry about that. But I was hoping you could give me a little heads up about the forest. Myself and my friends are going to head into there soon.
She nods and she points to her, essentially town guard medallion, the same that were given to Deet and Tobias. She goes, "Are you affiliated with any factions? Any of the larger, more well-known ones?"
Can't say that I am, ma'am.
Those woods belong to the Emerald Enclave, or so it is said. Now, it's free country. It's uncultivated forest, However, it is said there that the trees breathe and the trees move. You think back to the greenhouse in the Cloud Giant's castle. Fallen! The awakened shrubs and trees and things like that. So you're familiar with the sort. And she says, the trees do their damnedest to confuse those that go in, and often make sure they don't come back out.
Take you don't go in very often then.
I've been known to frequent it from time to time, and she points at a dagger on her hilt, and you can see an emerald icon on it.
Guess that means you have a safe passage-ish?
I would say they tolerate my presence.
Good to know. I'm not sure I know much about them, but I take it just from context. They're on the green side of the world, if you catch my meaning.
I catch your meaning. Now, the trees are familiar with those that belong to similar circles as you might, judging by some of the great manifestations and divine miraculous wonders that you have performed here in the Calling Horns.
You don't have to get all flowery with me.
Oh, I've seen a lot of things, but they are uncommon abilities, exceptional abilities.
Thank you.
And that goes for the entire lot of you. But if you were to ask me, those woods are dangerous, and if you're going in there, there must be something very, very valuable or someone very important to you.
Yeah, a little bit of both.
She kind of slides down and she kind of sits next to you and she kind of looks up at the clouds too. She goes, "What's her name?" And at that point, a shadow of a horse comes over the both of you.
Hell whip!
She looks up at the horse too, backlit by the sun. It glares at her.
Hell whip! Good to see you're doing all right.
Eudoxia gets up and goes, "I think I'll take a stroll about town. Catch you later."
Take care of yourself.
Flares her nostrils, flicks her tongue rapidly as Eudoxia wanders off, not looking behind.
Now, that was uncalled for. She was a perfectly nice woman that was helping me out. I do have speech of the woods, so she can understand me, although I cannot understand
Elwip
her.
understands more than is spoken. Elwip has what we call a horse's intuition.
Is that what we call it?
There's a lot of nonverbal communication going on and signs. And with that, we'll cut the camera back to the rest of the group. You can tell me if there was anything you want to do here in this small village. It's not very large, but it does have a few things. But if there's anything particular you would like to do before you go into the woods, by all means, let me know.
I actually needed to consult with Bope.
Yes.
Let's put you together.
Recipes? Yeah. Okay.
Recipes of a sort. Bope, would you be able to identify these seeds to make sure I'm not carrying anything dangerous?
Yes.
And I don't know what the red berry is. And I also wanted to talk to you about the stone and what your plans were for it.
Oh, yes. Well, it seems like you're talking about this Ioun stone of protection. It seems like it'll provide some additional protection to whoever wears it. We should talk about that amongst the group, see who wants it.
Do we have a cover story as to its acquisition?
Oh, that's right. They don't know. Well, it could be a stone I found in the river, and the circlet we had crafted to make it look nice.
That works.
Yes. I don't think
Now,
any of them have high insight.
No, they're pushovers. But this red berry, is it dangerous?
Let's take a look. And I ritually cast Identify over about 10 minutes.
And I think I had also gotten a grape, watermelon, and pumpkin seed. Very large.
These would be excellent for pies. Do you need them?
Well, we could eat them now, and it would be, a mighty snack. Or we could ensure they grow to fruition, and then we would have a whole garden to feast from.
That is a good idea. That would require settling down somewhere. I don't know. This place isn't too close to home for me. I don't know about you.
I don't really plan on settling down here, but they could be valuable. I'm sure we could definitely, trade somebody something for them.
Yes, watermelon bigger than Renyon. Oh, juicy.
As big as you, actually.
Yes.
Hey, Hellwhip seemed smarter than your average horse, didn't she?
She did. She did.
What if we used her manure to fertilize these when we do grow them?
Oh, some sort of awakened watermelon.
Yes, magical manure.
Yes. With strange tendencies and needs.
So I'm making a note to add Awake Melons to my list of creatures to design.
I did not tell y'all what that horse said to me.
It was all in her eyes.
Character.
It was all in her eyes.
You may have seen me blush, but I didn't tell you what that horse said to me.
We too have a horse's intuition.
Oh.
I could just hear my wife laughing at me upstairs.
Mine's more of a donkey ass's intuition, but that's
close enough.
I don't remember what Thorn said about the red seeds, but
I do.
I
wrote that down.
Identify spell provides insights.
I can't remember if it was supposed to be delicious or explosive.
Yeah,
so.
I'm tending towards explosive.
Okay, so there were the red berries.
I remember.
Yes.
I wrote it down.
Those are explosive. So they grow to be a little bigger than Bope. They're very large. It's rumored that they're plucked from the world tree itself from another plane, and they are cultivating them here. So you would have to do some planar travel to get those, but they've been growing them in the greenhouse. In order, your Identify, you wouldn't know that there's, I'll say that there's not, you will know that they are not of this world, and they are delicious. However, it's kind of the blowfish of berries. It's only a little portion that is edible. The rest is venomous and toxic. And if you do not carefully drain the juice and slice the fruit, they'll explode, and the outer juices are blinding.
Ooh, a venomous poison. I mean, both delicious and useful for poison applique.
But if you don't know what you're doing, it could be fatal. Be careful with those.
Who are you talking to? I know what I'm doing.
You've used these before, then?
No, but we should really loop Eldon into this discussion. Maybe he could whisper to the seeds. Basically, I don't want to do anything with them right now, but I want to make sure we store them properly so we can follow up on them later.
I agree. Keep them. Don't trip on them.
So I'll seek out Eldon real quick to ask. about the seeds.
You find Eldon.
Talking to his girlfriend.
Stop it.
Familiar horse that you own, rightful owner, lurking about.
No one owns that horse.
She goes where she wants.
I mean, the bill of sale says otherwise, but
She goes where she wants.
Try telling that horse that. That's all I got to say.
She'll eat that bill of sale.
Legal. If I can eat it, I can dissolve it. Yeah, so you find Eldon. Is Bope with you, or are you
I'll
traveling?
tag along.
yeah, with me, definitely. Say, Eldon, do you have a moment to talk about seeds?
Yes, I do.
I was wondering if you could try and speak to these, or if you knew anything specifically about them. I would just want to make sure they're stored properly. And
just keep them until you're ready to grow them. Just keep them dry. Keep them away. Secured in a dry place, dark dry place, so they don't get an inkling to start sprouting. Cool if you can.
well, I mean, normally I would think that would be good advice, but these are cloud giant seeds. Maybe they're different. And Bope got a little bit of information on the red berry there.
I paid attention to what Tholen said. Yeah, I'm really curious to see that in action. But if these things got to grow first, I don't think they're any danger as they are. You don't intend to eat them beforehand, right? The seeds.
Well, I mean, seeds are delicious, but no, we're not going to eat these.
I'll be fine. Just keep them in a cool, dry place. And I can't imagine the others are just big vegetables. Let's be real. Big
And
fruits. And fruits, pardon me. And the red one, I wish he had told us the actual name for it, because it can't just be red berry. That just seems so anticlimactic after the whole description. But
It is. Shout out to Sean Merwin, the designer of that berry and famous D&D designer. I'll get the proper name for it.
But I would love to see one of these grown, and I think I could manage. I paid attention to what Tholen said. I think I could handle them. And also, I can grow plants faster than normal.
Really?
That's fancy.
It's a little bit of magic.
Got that green thumb.
You cut out a little bit there, Josh.
Sorry, I was saying maybe we can talk in a few weeks once we deal with the current situation.
Oh, sure.
Keep it handy.
Ooh.
All right.
The name of the berry in the common tongue would be known as life currents.
Ooh.
Because they take away your life?
Better than death currents.
Those grow on the other side of the tree of life.
World tree.
World tree, pardon me. Life currents. Neat.
Say, how's Hell Whip doing?
Surly.
I offer her a carrot while we're talking.
She blinks her eyes at you. Some might say bat her eyes at you. She kind of motions for you to hand it to Eldon first.
Oh, I looked at
Kinky.
She's a little upset that we left her in the swamp without telling her anything, frankly.
She sulks on Quentin after Eldon says that.
Really?
I pet her and I hold a sugar cube out for her.
She takes it, but you can tell it's one of those things where, like, you got her exactly what she wanted for Christmas. She was having a bad day. She didn't show her full appreciation. Rather, the Faerunian equivalent will pull up a holiday. Helm's Day. You got me my helmet for Helm's Day. This is great. And you can tell that she probably just needs some alone time. And after she gets the sugar cube, she starts wandering to the stables.
She'll be all
Music
right.
plays as she walks away.
Give
It's
her some
incidental
time.
as a band turns the corner. Go ahead.
I'm going to reach out to my contacts the next chance I get and see if I can't rustle up a trade token, something that would allow her to communicate more easily with us in the common tongue.
Yeah, it's like a necklace she can wear, so we can understand her all the time.
I just
I was
Can't
thinking
go
more of
wrong.
like a comb that could go into her mane that does the language granting.
So
be careful what you wish for.
If it's like assistive
like to
technology.
announce the Velkyn Weave is
I love it.
canceled by the censors. If you'd like to subscribe to the Games Tavern's OnlyFans. No, I'm kidding. Don't beat me up, Reed. No, I'd like to know what Delirious is up to. And Rinian, there's going to be something special that happens with you after I find that out. I just need to figure out what's going on to make sure I time it correctly.
El Whip's gonna pay you a visit.
No, not at
all. So actually, I need to parlay with Quentin.
Okay. Before we get move to that, Rinian, the night before in the inn.
Yes.
Oh gosh, sorry. Thank you in chat. I'm from a foreign land. We use a different rating system. The last night in the inn, when you came in, you noticed everyone kind of like backed up and then breathed a sigh of relief, and then we're like, the Troll Slayer, and like everyone seemed on edge, and your presence seemed to take them aback. The innkeeper too, and says, "We just want to let you know that's not your fault. There's been some trouble around here recently."
What's not my fault?
Everyone, getting all shook up when you come in. Normally they'd be more hospitable, but there's been
I'm the one that intimidates them? Interesting.
Well, you have a certain bearing and mark about you.
I would expect there to have been more paladins to have came through these doors.
Well, there's one, and they look up the stairs.
Oh.
Doesn't refer to himself as a paladin, though. Tried to call him that, and he slapped. Well, and you see like a smaller folk, just a lad of 18, beanpole thin. He's got a busted mouth, and you can see there's scarring on his face. He's like Jonathan over there.
Scarring?
Called him such. Yes. He had to get patched up. Referred to someone that had a similar bearing as a paladin, and his plated left hand flew, striking him hard.
Rinian, or I mouthed the words to myself, but Oathbreaker.
Something like that. He called himself then you hear a voice. It's deep and rich from the stairs. He goes, Ildrigger. And you look up, and there is a man clad in dark plate. He is armored and holds a helmet by his side. He looks human, gaunt face, high cheekbones, sort of glares down at you. If you shortlisted actors to play Hannibal Lecter, you might consider this guy to play a young Hannibal.
Like Mads Mikkelsen?
A little bit. And he, we might not out my face claims here on stream yet. And then he sizes you up and he goes, what oaths have you taken?
To protect the green, serve Sylvans.
Well, your name is unknown here.
I've traveled far and wide across these lands now. To the north, far to the south. Brings me here to the middle.
There's 3 of the town guards in there. They go, this one single-handedly challenged a troll. Dead on. No armor. We have never seen bravery as such. Not at any part.
Oh.
This... Neilrigger says, perhaps you would like to test such bravery in, well, a skill against skill. My honor versus your honor.
And what, pray tell, is your honor, sir?
I represent the night. My tenants say that though the sun rises each morning, one day it shall not. Though its light reflects and shines off the moon, it is still eclipsed by the void and darkness of the cosmos. My honor is my own, and might should make right. And I think a little ritual combat might teach you your place amongst the order of things. The town's guards are like, don't talk to him that way, and they kind of look at you.
Like, you gonna take that?
That is quite a oath. That is almost the polar opposite of my own, and apologies that I did not go further, but mine is to keep the light, and yours is to not extinguish it, but accept the darkness that comes after. I fear that I will not stand up to your expectations, but shall give it my all.
Then on the morrow, this would be the night before. On the morrow at noon, you choose the weapons, and we shall participate in ritual combat and see which oath has been kept and which risks being broken. Now, out of character, so we're going to experiment with some ritual combat. Rinian has encountered what we will refer to as a nemesis, an individual out there in the world who rivals Rinian, who has heard of Rinian's exploits, and has sought him out, for he cannot tolerate not being the most famous sword wielder in the region, and has decided to challenge him. Now, the fight won't necessarily be a fight to the death unless they choose to make it such. It is honorable combat. And with that, we will cut the camera to Doliris finding Quentin.
Is it Quentin or Blanche now?
I don't have my face on right now, so I'm just Quentin.
You
Just
don't have a
plain,
face?
simple Quentin. Sorry, disguise self gone awry. Quentin, at your
good.
service.
I just wanted to be sure who I was, addressing.
So many
Anyway,
voices inside.
so I'm actually here to ask for your help. You're the dragon expert. I want to be prepared to give some help to you know who, in case they're still grievously injured when we come upon. So do you know what I need to pick up, if anything special?
So Felgloss is a brass dragon.
Bronze.
Is he brass?
Or bronze.
I think so. I think bronze.
Bronze.
I have as many somewhere downstairs. Which one are you? Yeah.
So, they're very electrically lightning inclined. So some oil to help polish up the scales, and some wire thread in case he's got any wounds that magic alone can't heal. Loose plates from being struck. I'm not lying.
Okay.
I mean, you came to Quentin. No, I'm just kidding.
I know, you're
You
right.
asked.
You're right.
You asked.
I got exactly, yeah.
Think about it this way. I've got a healer's kit on me right now, and it's got some thread and stuff, but it's all scaled up for us, for the human form.
Mhm.
But if Felgloss is in full dragon form, then you'll need something, to work on his anatomy.
Makes sense. Okay. You don't
So-
want me to look stupid in front of the dragon, right?
Definitely not, because then I would look stupid, and I'm a dragon expert after all.
I accept that. Thank you for your help.
I mean, I didn't spend 85 days doing stuff to sell my memories to a fade just to be a, not an expert in dragon stuff.
I'll tell him it was you if anything goes wrong.
That's fine.
Seems fair.
All right, so I guess I have to pick up some copper wire and polishing oil. Wasn't the dwarf with the fantastic, now sadly shorn beard, wasn't he a blacksmith or something?
Correct.
Okay,
In
so
fact,
he'll probably
blacksmith and gem cutter.
and Jim. Well, then I bet he'll have exactly what I'm looking for. So I'll go and commiserate with him over his loss of.
Yeah, you find him. Hello. What can I do for you?
I need some copper wire and some polishing oil. Yeah.
I have that. Do you have coin?
Yes.
All right, let me tally it up. Rupert, can you help? The little gnome sticks his head out the back and like shakes his head no. He kind of puts his hands on his hips. He's like, help her out. Little gnome kind of comes out, starts running the books. It looks like you added an extra 0 to the total. He nods his head. That's dishonest. He shrugs. Gosh. He raises it. All right, we can get you enough for this. A very big surface area. You're looking to apply all this over?
Yeah, I'm gonna need quite a bit. It's a very big diamond.
Diamond?
Yeah.
I would very much like to see that. And it's like, where did his confidence go? He was so brash. He was so bold. Unfortunately, no
you
longer.
can't. It's hiding.
Tell you what, for every diamond you find, bring it to me and I'll pay you double.
I'll keep that in mind. Yeah, after I polish this one, I'll see how I feel about parting with it.
Strokes his phantom beard. I heard it's good for revivification.
I wasn't gonna ask, but like, can I help you? I mean, what happened? This is painful to look at. Sorry, but it is.
His eyes start to well up with tears right in front of Rupert. Rupert kind of looks at him with a salty expression. He goes, "Oh, quiet you. I'm not crying. I'm leaking dreams." Tear runs down, and then he takes your money, goes to the back, and may surprise you. And there may be a way to help him. You essentially need oh gosh, what was the name of the item? There is a really good fake beard item that grows. My wife's character had it for a long time. She was like, I got a beard now. Like, walking around with her dwarf beard. There is a salve of restoration that you may be able to find and may be able to be concocted. The belt of dwarven kind. That's actually what it is. Yeah, she had the belt of dwarven kind. She's like, I got a beard. Yes, the belt of dwarven kind.
But does the beard go away when you take off the belt? That seems suboptimal. Oh no. Oh, okay, good. That's what he needs.
All right. Alas, and so, you receive the supplies. Rupert has them bound for you. You don't get charged extra, but you are going to receive an abundance of things to take care of and make the dragon well. For the dragon has been wounded. and is slow to recover in its current state of exhaustion because it was tortured, then it was pushing itself, and it was traveling quickly and trying to get to a safe place. Near Shadowtop, which is in the High Forest, which isn't far from here. You just go into the woods from the Calling Horns. He's not at Shadowtop proper, but he is in the High Forest. So cut back to Rinian. The time has come for there's a line in the street of 4 of the guards. They have their little Yay Rinian banners. And the
I'm a fan of fun.
yeah, they're fans of Rinian, and so they like what he stands for, and he likes the they tell the story of when he went running out in the middle of the night,
In his PJs.
The Illrigger, in his PJs, skivvies. The Illrigger is there, and there is a small squire. He's stout, built like a barrel, ill taken care of shoes. Looks like he's gotten not enough sun. One of those indoor squires, soft hands. And bad haircut. They literally just stuck the bowl on his head and shaved around.
The bowl cut.
The traditional squire haircut.
Yes. And so the knight, the Illrigger, refers to him and goes, "All right, Beetle. Make sure you draw the weapons quickly and fetch whichever he who is known as Rinian selects." Mm-hmm. So you come out, and then the Illrigger speaks and says, "All right, Sir Paladin, to what weapon shall we face with?"
Well, I thought upon it throughout the night, and I came to 2 conclusions. I look as I'm looking at him. What is he currently wearing?
He's wearing plate mail,
but shield on the arm, no shield.
No shield. He is if you select sword and shield, he'll ask Beetle to fetch it for him, who may or may not get it right. That's the wrong size shield. This is a buckler battle. Come on, put it back. Sorry, I apologize. No. I love this horrible squire. I made him horrible. I don't know why.
I'm not one to. Well, I am one. Given that I am the challenge party this time, then we shall start with weapons that I feel exemplify the mission of both to protect as well as to serve to smite those in front of us. So I choose a shield and one-handed weapon.
All right. He snaps his fingers, and Beetle comes forward and hands him a mace, as well as a shield, and he takes it. And he says, "Here are the rules. First to strike 3 times or down the other is the victor of this combat. The loser must depart before day's end." Now that's fortuitous for you because you're planning to go into the woods anyways. But those that live in this village have been told to proclaim the occurrence of what happened here today far and wide. They have ways and means, or so they say. Kind of looks over the guards and they look at you and they shrug. They're like, "Well, we don't want him to kill us." We outnumber him, but he seems tough. And with that, here's the way it works. So each round we will both roll initiative. You have the chance to make your attacks. You hit him 3 times or knock him down, you win. If you reduce the other person to half hit points, you also win. And so this is going to be a duel between Paladin versus Illrigger in the Calling Horns, with the honor of Rinian not completely at stake. However, we'll see how this goes as your nemesis. And before you go to combat, he puts his helmet on and he asks if he might know your full name.
Ooh.
Do we know his full name?
We don't.
And if you want it something just between you and him, you can keep it private. Because he says this is for those that have taken oaths to know.
I will activate Divine Sense.
Oh.
Gotta make sure.
Yeah.
So, this individual, I'm going to give you some information. He's lawful evil. He is a human, a variant human, and essentially he is an enemy, and I'll give you a little more, even though it would be different abilities to get this. He's an enemy that would should challenge you in combat to a high level, but not overpowered or level inappropriate. And he is of this world.
Okay.
If
That's
he wasn't, he would have to depart for lying because he is honor bound, unfortunately.
Can we interfere if we wanted to?
What's that? Yeah, you can come out. You all are like, hey, where's Radiant? And then you see an armed sword and board coming. They're circling.
I feel like we've missed a development here.
Yeah.
I will salute him with sword and shield, and then step forward with a nod. Sword low and not. Oh, actually, I'll resheath it and step forward to answer his question.
Okay, and he tells you that he is Chev Tyrone d'Avignon, Chev being his proper title as a knight. Yes, Rinian, to answer the party question that was asked in chat, Rinian could use magic, and this could smite him. Could
I was gonna ask. I was actually gonna say no divine interventions, and that this would be our own strengths. If
you ask that, he will honor it because he allowed you to choose the weapons. He would also let you choose the terms, because the idea behind dueling, you should use the same weapons and abilities, and both agree to do that, and then you fight honorably or dishonorably. Dishonorably, you go against the terms of the duel. Honorably, you are bound by them. And if he fights dishonorably and there's witnesses and they see it, it will get around that he's dishonorable, which might be what he wants.
Perhaps indeed.
I mean, he tells you he is Chev Tyrone d'Avignon, and he hails from Baldur's Gate, and he has no family, for they were slain by the trolls many years prior. And he says that's enough of his history. If there's anything you would like to share with him, he will receive it, so he knows who he is facing in honorable combat.
Rinian steps in close, covering the mouth so as to prevent lip readers. Will give him his given name. Tells him that he is of Mirabar, that his parents too have died, though more peaceably. It is his brothers and sisters who have met crueler fates.
He nods and he says, if he eclipses you today, your star will be remembered, but he cannot ensure that it will be remembered forever. And with that, the fight is on. I'd like you to roll initiative.
Ooh.
I got a 13.
That is higher than the 5 that he got.
Nice. That's our paladin.
Yeah, so he sort of steadies himself.
And with that, Rinian will step in and goes for the first attack.
All right, let me know what you get.
I got a 18.
So you notice you come in to strike with your weapon, and it's a true blow. This is the same type of attack that would have felled either the wights or the trolls that you had faced before. And you notice as your attack comes in, he parries with his weapon, protecting himself from the lethal blow that would have met him. And looks at you with sort of a newfound respect. Now you're used to those attacks landing, and mechanically he used his reaction to parry and raise his armor class, and did such. Now you are allowed to make 2 attacks.
I am, but first I'm going to attempt to shove him with my bonus action.
Yeah.
Okay.
So contested, he may roll either athletics strength or acrobatics dexterity.
Is definitely a strength.
Wow. I have a little hole on my desk about that big, and I just
no.
rolled my d20 through it. I got a 17.
Well, you beat his 16.
Oh.
He is. You throw the.
I will, having parried my first blow, he doesn't expect, perhaps, maybe he's not just trained with the shield, as he seems to be more trained with the blade and his ability to parry with such ease. He does not expect the follow-up shield that slams into him in the opposite side. So, like, the blow came in this way, and then the shield, like, kind of did one of these to him, knocking him to his butt.
He falls, and it's one of those things where he's almost comically seated. He doesn't do the nesty plunge. It's just one of those things where it's like, huh, and he lands seated on his butt, and Beetle goes, "Oh!" like covers his mouth. Squire. Oh! And Tyrone stands up, and gives you a nod, and he says, "Perhaps it is I that should proclaim the name of Rinian, as opposed to the sorry, chat. Oh, yeah, the name of Rinian to others, and the town guard kind of watch." He goes, "I expect we will meet again one day, and perhaps the terms might be altered."
Sorry.
But yes, he recognizes though, and you can tell he's not hurt, and he looks like someone who handles losing pretty well, almost too well, almost like he's comfortable in the loss.
Does that make me super uncomfortable?
It feeds him.
He lost nothing and gained much.
And it's one of those things too where so I want you to add a special bond to your character. Add that you have a nemesis, and you can add I'll give you the name of Tyrone Davignon, and there is a bond that he is your nemesis as well, but this is a bond that can scale over time. We're going to use a slightly homebrewed thing where as you engage with your nemesis, there may be mechanics that are unlocked when you encounter them, such as if Tyrone's giving a big speech and you're the nemesis and you're in the crowd, or Tyrone's leading people into battle, he'll remember you and you can like insult his honor, and it will cause his stock to fall because you are his nemesis. But it all depends on how much you interact with him, and you end up hating each other or respecting each other over time.
So kind of the nemesis mechanic from Shadows of Mordor.
It could be similar to that. Also, Blue Rose with the relationship bonds from that. Yeah, similar. I like that though. Shadows of Mordor. It's a good game. And with that, the party all witnessed this. You missed a beat in the story. You come back. The Dark Knight has falls to his ass. His squire yelps. there's some clapping from those that watch, and they you see that they had taken bets, and it is very clear that there were a few who bet against Renian and now feel a little shame.
I would have bet against me.
That's the key. You should have bet against you, then threw it and be like, wealthiest paladin in the Sword Coast.
Not my style, but the thought crossed my mind.
I just start a chant, Ren Yin, Ren Yin. Get some dancing lights going around him.
They join in. Jonathan, the young man who was struck, smiles for the first time in a day, and they celebrate the great display of bravery by Renian in a fight where initiative determines the lot and the stakes are high. And so we continue. And at this point, is there anything else you would like to do in the Calling Horns before you venture into the High Forest to find Focalos?
I think we're ready.
Yeah. What's the status of Deet and Tobias?
All right. They make their ways known. You could tell. It was hard to tell. They were blending in with the town guards because we're honorary watch folk. And they kind of come out and they're like, they've been giving us the lighter rounds. So they're like, we've had a day of training on how to be guards. Turns out it's not too hard. You just stand a lot and watch.
Yeah.
You notice they stop blinking altogether, and not because they're lizard folk and a Yanti. They're like you watch with real intent and make sure that you can discern people's actions.
It's a useful skill.
Did you know the trees are angry and they look at the forest?
Yeah, actually, I had heard that. Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't reckon anyone should go in there. They're liable to get themselves killed.
Got great news for you guys.
That's where we're going.
Dun, dun, dun. Cut. All right. So if there's nothing left to do in the Calling Horns, we are going to fast forward to the entryway into the High Forest to find Focalos, the flying disaster. And out of curiosity, which of you do you feel is best suited to try to navigate? You have some general sense that if you keep heading northeast and stick to the main trail, you should be able to find your way to what is known as the Shadowtop Cathedral. Not the Shadowtop proper, but there is a number of enclaves in here, and you should be able to find the dragon, not to mention he's loud and snores.
You know, I grew up in the woods. I might be good at finding the trail. Or at least take a turn.
So go ahead and make a nature check for me. If you typically would have advantage, you'll do it at regular because there are forces at work that are attempting to hinder your progress.
Okay, I do not have it at advantage. So this is disadvantage?
Disadvantage, unless you use your inspiration from your monologue.
I will. So regular, straight roll. Okay, not bad. That is a 15.
All right. 15 is excellent. You find the trail, and you also find a number of awakened shrubs and trees that are attempting to deceive you.
I greet them cordially. Hello there, Mr. Cherry Bark Elm. We're just making our way through here, and we really, we won't trip on your roots, and leave your bark where it is. No carvings or anything. Just please let us pass.
As you talk to it, they kind of look at each other and they hiss at you.
Well, that is uncalled for. And I throw a little acorn shell at it and just tink, bounces off.
All right. When you do that, you see they turn. They just go motionless.
Well, looks like somebody listened to their talking to. I march on.
Shadow comes over the party.
Uh-oh.
There's 4 trees that are kind of blocking the path after you throw the acorn. These trees are moving.
It's an acorn. It comes from the trees.
Why did you? Rinian will step ahead.
Activate my bark skin ring.
The trees kind of stop and they look at Rinian with like as curious as a tree could look at Rinian. You know, they kind of they turn their branches over. They don't reach them out aggressively. They kind of show them more passively. It almost looks as if they are looking for you to give them something of interest to gain passageway.
Could
Both.
be.
Give him some back guano.
They do seem interested.
It's nutritious and delicious
I
for
mean,
trees.
Grow it at their roots this time? I don't know.
It's also
Question, is Hell Whip with you?
That's a better question to ask Hell Whip. Is Hell Whip with us?
She can be if you'd like her to.
Can
Yeah.
we stop her? I think is
Yeah.
the question.
I think Hell Whip is probably with us. Yeah.
Okay. Hell Whip seems a little taken aback by the presence of the trees, but also there's that horse's intuition. And Doliris, your perception reveals to you that there are some predators here in the woods that are lurking about, and the constant motion of the trees seems to draw the predators closer to you because they have learned that.
Eldon.
Yeah.
Eldon,
Yeah.
we're being watched.
No, I think after she points it out, I might pick up on that.
Yeah. So, your suspicion is that there are there's many different dangers that could be here in the woods. There could be miraculous creatures, such as benign things, such as a Pegasus, or there could be a unicorn. These great things. There could also be more terrifying things, such as hags, or orogs, or there could be werewolves that are wandering the woods trying to find you. There's all kinds of folks that could live here in the high forest. There could even be owlbears. But alas, just placer beasts. There's all kinds of things.
Just pile it on, Grant. Just.
I'm not gonna be able to sleep tonight.
I'm gonna approach the trees and use my speech of the woods feature. Since no, I think that actually only works on beasts. Crap. Ooh. Yep, that's just beasts. That doesn't work on plants. Okay, I can't talk to plants. Never mind.
I'll take some moss out of one of my pockets and say, "This one came from a birch tree. Would you like this?" And just put it on the open leaves.
You hear the tree respond, and it's kind of the voice is pretty rustic. The dialect is from somewhere in the deep south of the Sword Coast. Heavy accent in almost Pigeon Common language, kind of like a hybrid. It responds in a bit of Elvish, where it says, "Don't disturb the shrubs, and you probably should go back." So any of you that speak Elvish would know this. Do any of you? I think
I know a
Quentin
little
does.
Elvish.
Yeah.
Translate for everyone. It's really broken Elvish. I could try showing an image of Felglass and it, try and pantomime with it to see where he is in the forest.
Ask.
Okay.
You
So
do that
I'm
in
going
the-
to silent image the dragon flying and then kind of crashing into the ground, and then do my best to convey where is he.
They respond in Elvish. They go, "The wounded dragon. He is not unknown here. He would be at Shadowtop, which is reserved for members of the Emerald Enclave." if you present a token of the order, we can let you through.
I haven't any of those yet.
Sorry, folks. I don't actually officially associate with them.
Hellwhip snorts at you.
I don't.
I'll try and
She
try and bluff
looks
it.
she looks particularly ornery, almost as if there's a smirk on the horse's lips.
Do we know anybody who's a member of the Enclave? Could perhaps give us passage?
I know.
Hellwhip blinks twice at you.
Yeah, I actually do know someone that could maybe get us passage.
Hellwhip whinnies
Do tell.
devilishly.
It's not her, despite all her noise back there. One of the watchers,
He looks
Eudoxia.
rejected.
Is it you? Do you know? Do you actually know these people? Can you get us through? I'll talk
All
to
right.
the horse.
I need you to make a perception check versus Hellwhip sleight of hoof.
Slide.
Guys, does it look like
Oh my god.
Eldon's like being snarky at a horse?
Make a perception check. I just want to see what
I'm just waiting for the horse to do the coin behind the ear trick.
It's I rolled a 9. I mean, I talk to
Okay, so
animals,
you
guys. You know
listen.
this.
People like not like this.
Hellwhip from a bag slips Quentin the dagger with the emerald gem. She stole it. She stole it from the Watcher.
Who's a good girl? Who's a good girl?
Questions.
I have nothing to. I have no idea. So I.
Yeah, you didn't know the
I'm
Watcher,
I'm
didn't know about
innocent.
the dagger.
Completely innocent, I say.
Bob, was that Gnomish they were speaking?
I think so. They were saying,
I reached down and I passed the dagger to you unseen.
Oh.
Symbol of the order.
I hold it up bravely. I am a member of the Emerald Enclave. Let us pass. And I sink the dagger into the soil.
They recoil their roots and they part ways. Anyway.
Rinian looks at Bo weirdly. What?
Hey,
I'm gonna go up there and pull the dagger out of the ground. Don't put it in the ground. Don't.
are you a member?
No, but it's not good to treat your weapons like that.
I try to take it back.
And
I know this isn't yours.
All right. So, and with that, I think that's a good time to take our first break. So don't forget to ask character questions in chat by typing question in all caps and followed by your question and which character it's directed at. And Tom, why don't you give us a heads up about some of our Patreon announcements before we go to break?
And yeah, don't forget the Games Tavern Patreon is live and a great way to support the show. So every Friday, patrons get to see special behind-the-scenes content and also get special access to other awesome content like DM notes, maps, behind-the-scene videos. The latest updates include Terja Nighthawk's Infernal Contract and video highlights from the shows. So just check in the Patreon panel below in our Twitch channel or go to patreon.com and search The Games Tavern to support the show. So we'll be back in about 5 to 10 minutes. See you then.
we are back with more Velkyn Weave here on the Games Tavern. Now, we had some excellent questions that were asked while we were on break. Let's go through them. So my first question is for Renian. Renian, do you view your nemesis the way Will Wheaton views Sheldon on The Big Bang Theory?
So I saw it early, luckily, and I was able to put some thought into it. And it's I'm kind of in a conundrum right now because there's still a lot of unknowns. In many ways, Rinian would probably look at him like Jean-Luc Picard looked upon Q, an annoyance at best with unlimited capabilities and powers that could spell doom for everything, but at the same time, somebody that could be defeated and sent on their way, as has been seen in this first example. But at the same time, T'Challa and Killmonger came to mind in that they both seek a resolution of the light in a way, and just opposite ends of the spectrum. So
You take that way
Chris.
more seriously than I think Richard anticipated. But good on you.
Good on you. I love that. I love
That was
answers.
great.
Question for Delirious. What have you told Deet and Tobias about Timora, and how is that going?
All right, so first of all, it's going very difficultly, because they're so excited about worshiping Timora. They don't want to listen about how to worship Timora. But basically, it went like this. I sat them down, and I said, thing you have to understand about Timora, she's a fickle bitch.
Hell, Whip nods.
everyone
All right.
nods.
Everyone.
She's the goddess of good fortune, but she will take away that good fortune too. You just have to keep the faith, okay? It's really difficult. I know. But that's the way you worship Timora, is you thank her for the bad things that come along, and then the good things will come along, and then you enjoy them, and you have to enjoy them a lot because they're few and far between.
Tobias is like, fear is a very powerful motivator, and Deet nods along. They are now considering to what length their apostate inclinations might go, and they shall walk the straight and narrow so long as the dice roll that way.
No, hold on. She's also not really about the straight and narrow, so don't go down that path either. Like, we
So long as the
devotees
dice roll
of
that
Timora,
way.
we play fast and loose with the rules. Just you remember that too.
Fast and loose. And they start twitching their fingers. Fast and loose. All right. And this question is for the rest of the group. Any of you can answer. Or we can take a vote. Are you all scared of the trees?
No.
No.
Trees are friends.
I respect the trees. I'm not. I respect.
Yes.
Yeah.
Respect.
Respect the trees. I'm not afraid of the trees.
Yeah, we walked into their place. We're trying to be polite. They're going to hiss at us. It might get a little feisty, but, no one's burning down the forest. Okay, guys? I'm not burning
Trees
down the
aren't
forest.
supposed to hiss at you.
Right, but it's like a dog guarding his yard. You just got to be firm. All right.
Bope, I think the
Not show fear.
I think the caveat to that is yet.
Yeah, the night is young.
Walking the majority of the day. We'll get back into the game now. We're not actually walking the majority of the day. We are fictionally doing so as our characters, though. The shrubs and the trees make way for you. For you are very clearly, Bope Whizbang is a member of the Emerald Enclave, according to the horse that stole a dagger off a watch person. And
I'm mortified.
You.
Yeah, I know the woman. I spoke to her. Dang horse took it while I was watching,
Nice.
apparently.
The most experienced one there. And you are coming into a very, very thick fog. That is the way the path has led you, Bope. What do you do? How do you handle it?
I use dancing lights to try to illuminate the path, though I guess in some fog that might actually make it worse. But
fog occludes light to some extent. That is the digital cinematography description of how it handles it, based on my After Effects training. You notice the lights sort of go out, and you notice them disappear as if to be behind a large object, perhaps a tree. And then from the tree, you hear a loud voice call out in a tongue that you've heard before, but I don't believe any of you speak. The ground itself seems to shake when you hear it.
Giant?
It's giant.
Oh.
The fog disperses. A familiar face, one that you saw briefly before you took the dragon, is there. Crisaro, searching the woods for the dragon. He's tracked him this far.
Does he see us?
Yes.
Oh, shoot.
He couldn't while there was fog, but then he saw lights come out, so he dispersed the fog.
Oh!
You might have been a fairy dragon.
Indeed. Ooh.
We still can be. Does anybody know what one looks like?
No.
You survived the attack too. Thank the gods.
He speaks in common, and he goes, "Fortuitous that we run into each other again."
Is it though?
Yes. For it was you that witnessed the dragon's escape. Certainly you are here to help apprehend him and bring him back to the Countess.
Indeed.
Blanche
Perception
Devereaux.
check.
That's like side-eye looks.
Yeah, we're looking at Blanche.
So
Actually,
both
we
give
were
me
here
a-
for entirely different reasons.
What a coincidence.
That's an 11.
Well, he got a 24 on his insight check.
Jesus.
I cannot beat that.
He narrows his eyes, and he sees the group of you, knowing that he is outnumbered in this situation. He asks what your intentions are.
We're just passing through.
I am a member of the Emerald Enclave. These are my woods. You should leave.
Have a talk about this later.
It's at this
Sorry.
point. Go ahead.
What is it you're seeking on behalf of your master, Countess Sensori?
I must apprehend the dragon, break him, and bring him back. I won't be able to fly as easily with a shattered spine, but I can carry him just the same. Yeah.
What if the Red Hand invaders made off with him?
I doubt that. For we killed many of them, and they took off. By our... the Countess has scried them. They're flying south, far south. Rapidly. To the west. But he
So you
does
wanna
seem,
rumble?
you do seem to have his, yeah, you do seem to have his intention, and he thinks about it, and he's like, he explains that it is his duty to prevent any from interfering with his path, but he proposes perhaps we travel together for now.
No, I don't
You
think
know what?
that's a
We've
good
got-
idea.
We've got a horse. We've got these two lizard guides. You know, and a rug. You know, we're full up. I'm sorry, we don't have any. All of the logs around the fire taken.
I think you should head on your own.
With that, he nods, and and he disappears into the forest.
Oh, dang it.
I
Gone.
can't believe it was that easy.
I now need
That was
everyone to
the best
roll
choice.
initiative.
Fuck.
And say better we keep eyes on him, but it's too slow.
That was a garbage roll.
Oh,
13.
7 for me.
8 for me.
Aha.
Haha.
11.
Wow.
We are doing average.
Yeah.
are we?
What do you got?
20.
Oh,
That cleric initiative comes through.
where did that come from?
Tamori smiles upon me.
Is that just the end
This
of the
is the
last
opposite
round
of
of the
the
last
upland.
combat we did?
Yeah.
What was Eldon's? Like that. What was
7.
Eldon's initiative?
That
7.
was 7.
And Bope was 8.
Yeah.
And Quentin, were you 13?
Yes.
Yes.
I think so.
Okay. So I think I have everyone down there. So Delirious, you are going to be able to go first.
Can I, we create or destroy water. Can I use that to get rid of the fog?
He dispersed the fog himself. He didn't disappear in fog. He disappeared from sight.
From
In
sight.
other words, he used magic and disappeared in a direction to which is currently unknown for you based on the time period.
But if you make it rain,
Yes. All right, guys, use your eyes. Tamora grants the essence of life. And I'll make it rain in a 30-foot cube where we last saw him.
Okay. It's definitely in the cube where you last saw him. It's not like splashing off anything there. He is not in that spot.
Well, I tried, guys. I didn't know what else to do.
All right. It's his turn.
Making it rain.
At this point, a rock comes flying at Bope Whizbang.
Oh, no. What a hell action.
29 to hit.
Well, wait.
Okay.
Wait. Where are we?
In the forest.
Positioning
forest.
matters.
Are you attempting to deflect the rock?
I can attempt to deflect the rock.
I'll let you.
All right. Disadvantage. Roll.
All right. With disadvantage, he has an 18.
Uh,
Which is pretty good when he's considering he has a plus 12 to his rock throwing ability.
Oh my god.
if we've been walking all day, I think my bark skin wore off. So
How long? What's the duration on it?
it's an hour.
Okay, if it was 8 hours, I'd say you still have it.
Okay. So it's not worth casting shield. So I will. Wait, you said 18?
18.
Yeah, shield would get me to 18. So
Eats.
it hits.
30 points of bludgeoning damage.
Oh,
How you doing?
my
he's
God.
got that
I'm
amulet.
okay. I'm okay because I got that amulet of vitality. I'm at 23.
Okay. And with that, that is Crisaro's turn.
Did he reappear when he did that?
I mean, that's
No.
typically how
That is an
invisibility
excellent
works.
question.
Well, he's
Okay.
not invisible, but you can tell that it came from what would be essentially the eastern direction. So you know that he's throwing it from the woods.
Okay.
I feel like I'm just flattened underneath the rock. I would be prone, right? Let's be honest.
You're
And even a
small,
glance,
the rock
even
was
a-
thrown hard.
even a glancing blow from a giant rock would do a lot of
Yeah.
damage, I imagine.
Yes. So with that, we'll move down initiative past the giant's turn to Quentin's.
Are there any large trees that I could kind of get cover behind between?
Yes, in fact, you could get complete cover. There are also awakened trees that may be somewhat kind to members of the Emerald Enclave. Depends.
If that giant doesn't have permission to be here.
They tried to stop him. It didn't work out very well.
Next thing he throws is a tree.
So I'm going to get cover behind one of the trees and then use my invocation to do a silent illusion, showing the emerald dagger, and the cloud giant like grasping it, trying to indicate help.
Okay.
It's out there. It's best I could think of.
No, that's pretty good. The trees seem to stir, and they move out of the way, and you can see, about 70 feet off to the east, the giant is now exposed. And so the trees are kind of coming back and forming not a complete line to protect you, but they're revealing the giant's position. 70
And
feet.
I yell in his direction, Countess Sensori has horrible taste in the people she hires.
Oh, shots fired.
And he goes, A2, Blanche Lafayette, even if you're not Blanche. That's pretty good. All right, so Rinian. Yeah. Assuming Quentin has nothing else to do.
I'm good.
So you're saying that we have a general location of...
You can see him now. The trees moved out of the way for you.
Ah.
They were persuaded by Quentin.
Nice.
Okay. Rinian, seeing opportunity, will... how far away?
About 70 feet at this point.
70 feet. So that's full movement. Including the bonus action. I will I will start moving in his direction and cast a moonbeam on his position.
Ooh, nice.
Excellent.
Rinian takes out several seeds and a piece of opalescent feldspar and begins chanting as he's running and making the motions to call upon the power of the moon to illuminate this troll or this giant.
All right, and for those of you who are tactical strategy buffs, moonbeams are excellent against creatures that could turn into a gaseous form potentially and prevent their transformation, which cloud giants are capable of doing. Yes. So with that, we'll go through the spell. So the silvery beam of pale light comes down after you cast the spell. It's in a 5-foot radius, a 40-foot high cylinder, centered on a point, which is centered on him in his space. He's perfectly within range.
There's nothing yet.
It will on the start of his turn.
Correct.
And so, at this point, we will move, unless you have anything else you can do to Bope.
Okay. I'm going to get up, crumpled, say, ow! And cough a little blood. Oh. Okay.
How's Mr. Peppers?
Oh, no. How is Mr. Peppers?
He's fine.
He's fine. Okay. He's...
Jesus.
I was crushed from the chest up. He's more around waist.
We were about to all be crushed.
Yeah. I'm going to hobble behind a tree, and just before I get there, I'm gonna smack some molasses in my hand and cast slow over him and say, don't do that again. So it's a wisdom save 15.
All right, so we will see Crisaro on his wisdom saving throw, which is fairly high. 21 to save, makes it save.
All right.
Thank you for telling me that.
Yeah. I'm okay with you knowing some of these abilities because I want you to be competent in combat.
Okay, I assume I'm not hidden, but can I get some sort of cover behind a tree?
With your move, you can get behind a tree. You're little. In fact, you can have essentially full covered where you're completely obscured.
I will take that.
All right. And with that, Eldon, you're up.
All right. Yeah, it's conjuring animal time.
Yeah, I love conjuring animal
I'm
time.
gonna conjure me a big boy giant constrictor snake again, which is a huge beast to face off against our huge giant enemy.
Mhm.
So just thrust my staff out and just watch this giant constrictor snake just shoot about 60 feet out in front of me to where he can plop down in front of the giant and slither after him. And I'm just gonna say, sick him.
Alrighty.
All right, so that's a good hit. That is a nice 23 to hit for the
23
constrict on the snake. Yeah.
He ain't going nowhere.
All right, so he is officially grappled at this moment, and will be able to break out next turn.
Delirious' turn.
I'm
And
going to.
he does damage too.
Mhm.
As he should.
12 magical bludgeoning.
Alrighty. It'll be 12 magical bludgeoning.
Right.
All right. So with that, Delirious, you are up.
I shuffle over to Bope. More grants you the strength to carry on the fight. That's a Cure Light Wounds at level 3,
Ooh.
because you sure as heck need it.
Thank
Take
you.
17 health back.
Oh, thank you, dear.
That's what I do.
appreciate it.
Use it well.
I will.
Oh. Yeah, Snake's gonna need to make a save.
How big is the?
It's 5-foot radius. You're occupying the space as the giant.
All right, fair enough.
Yeah, I say technically by the rules, you say the CR of the animal you'd like to conjure, and we'd probably tailor it to the location. But I like the idea of you summoning these constrictor snakes because they're kind of badass.
Okay.
Yeah, it's one of those obscure
apologies.
rules that they errated. No, I like you being able to pick it because it's better for these combats.
We hadn't discussed that before. I apologize.
No, it's one of those things. They're really not clear in the way they wrote the spell. So it's not things.
What kind of save is it?
Constitution.
Constitution.
Snake should have a pretty good.
You would think. I got a 12.
Needed 13.
Okay.
Ah,
well,
missed it by that
Giant
much.
Radiant.
Giant is with
All
the
right.
23.
That's fine. That's fine.
How much radiant damage?
10.
Okay. So the giant made his Constitution saving throw, and it is the giant's turn. Quick question on Moonbeam, because this will determine what happens, whether or not the giant can do this. So while the giant cannot turn into gas,
Well,
to
that was
escape-
for the snake. Giant's damage is the same.
Okay. So double check.
You can shape change, but you have to make a saving throw you have to make its saving throw with disadvantage. If you fail, you instantly revert to original form.
Okay. Okay.
And you can't assume a different form until it leaves the light.
Yes. So he would not be able to turn into gas until he leaves. But his movement is 0. However, he misty steps out of the grapple, which is legal.
Cheater!
And, is behind Quentin, who he attacks twice with the Morning Star. Actually, he's not behind Quentin because he would not be able to see you because you're hidden. Same with Bo. So he actually
Misty steps only 30 feet.
Misty steps only 30 feet, so then he would throw his rock at Delirious. 20 to hit.
No, I'm sorry. My AC was 21.
Woo! You do not take 30 points of damage. But he
No, I'm
closes the
sorry.
gap.
That was
That was
I was
sarcasm.
being
It was
hopeful.
wishful
All
thinking.
Oh. Well, then you take 30 points of bludgeoning damage.
No.
And he is now next to you at this point as he finishes his move.
Next to Rinian?
Actually, Delirious.
Oh,
And-
hold on.
No,
We can say
Delirious was 70 feet away. Rinian is the only
Okay,
thing.
yeah, about
30.
70 feet. All right, so whoever the nearest person would be at that point. So
That's
well, let's look at it
He
this
had
way.
movement after his Misty Step.
Stop!
Yeah.
Time out.
Oh,
Time out.
True.
Everybody time out. Giants have much longer reach than you do. They have twice as much reach. So he has movement and he has Misty Step. So if she's 70 feet away and he moves 60 feet, she is within range.
Right, but I get an attack of opportunity as he passes by me.
If he passes by you. We're using abstract positioning.
Sure.
I assume he could teleport adjacent to you and move in. Unless you're on all sides of her, which you could be.
Well, no. Well, you had the caster party back here, and then I move forward towards him. So, like, I'm between him and them. Is the way I.
We'll say that you can make an attack of opportunity. I'm okay with it. He's got a lot of hit points. You're going to be swinging at him a whole lot.
So, did I still get hit with a boulder?
What did you get?
Held in time.
Okay, Divine Smite.
Uh-huh.
Cool.
I guess that means that was a crit.
It was a crit.
That was a genuinely cackling laugh. right
It
there.
was. It really was.
A very un-Renyan laugh.
Yeah,
Some,
it's important to remember, though, that he can teleport in any direction.
Yeah, I know that now.
And move and then close in.
So, first is the physical magical slashing damage, which will be 15. And then, unfortunately, he's not dead or anything, so this doesn't hit as hard as it could, but c'est la vie. Where all my d8s go? Pretty solid. That is 20. 20 magical radiant damage. Slamming home in a green bladed sword, making contact. So, as he dashes by, blinking in and blinking out, Ring catches him in the side. Or I catch him on the side.
It's okay if you describe it third person or first person.
Do I still
I know
get hit
some
with a
prefer-
boulder?
What's that?
Do I still get hit with a boulder?
100%.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. That's gonna suck.
Yeah. Yeah, it kind of does.
Is there any more damage in that?
Just the 34.
Okay, got it. And with that, we move down to Quentin's turn.
Okay. How far away is he right now? He's right up next to Delirious, right?
Yeah, she's within striking range.
Okay.
He's not right up next to her by your size, but in giant size, he can attack her from 10 feet.
Okay. I'm going to drop my concentration on the silent image that I had up, step over 5 feet, and drop my hex onto him, targeting his athletics. And then I will unleash 2 Eldritch Blasts, yelling, "Feel the Shadowfell!"
All right. Armor class 16.
Okay, 22 to hit and 1 crit. So
Excellent.
let's see, that is 7 force and 4 necrotic, and then 11 force and 9 necrotic.
Nice.
And Let's see, who's within 30 feet? Delirious. I will use my mastermind ability to point out a weak spot, his ankles, in case you want to engage him in melee.
You better give that to Bope, because he's the one who has some. You have like some range spell attacks, right? I'm unlikely to stab him with a dagger. So.
Bope, that's for you then, his ankles, and then I will step back behind the tree, hoping that he doesn't come for me.
All right. It's one of those mid spells where you're like, Delirious! There's a, and you're like, Bope! Bope! There's a.
Actually, correction, I call it out, but there's no mechanical benefit because that was a bonus action as well, and I dropped my hex on him, so. Get him, Bope.
You still call it out. Get him, Bope! And Rinian, you're up.
Having dashed past me, I will instead I will move in behind him, taking his back, and go for the attack. First, I will I'll just go for the attack. First attack. Nope. There's a 9. Second attack. A much more respectable 17.
17 is enough to hit him. Go ahead and roll damage.
Yeah, I heard him say he was 16. So.
That is 10 more magical slashing damage at his heels.
Slice into his heels, and he feels it. Bope, you're up.
Okay,
He's currently engaged with Delirious and Rinian. So if a fireball hits, just understand. You're also in the woods, I need to remind you.
Yeah, trees.
If I get hit by a fireball, I'm probably going to die. I have 10 health right now.
Yeah,
You don't need to
Renion's
burn
there.
down the high forest.
And
Oh my goodness.
Delirious, I probably don't want to. Trees, deal breaker. Okay.
It's like you
So-
see Rinian already hiding behind the shield. He's ready for it.
Yeah, I'm not. I don't have your fancy shield feats.
So, quick question: does suggestion's not a charm spell? So, would he have advantage because we're in combat, or no advantage?
For suggestion?
Yeah.
So
It doesn't specify in the description.
So let me double check. So according to the rules, let's talk through this, and it's okay for us to do this. So it would take an action to do. You would attempt to influence a creature, and let's double check. Must make a wisdom saving throw.
Oh, he's really good at those.
Yeah.
That's what you said.
So it's one of those things in this situation. It could theoretically, I think, work.
Yeah.
I want to do a more careful reading, but it's one of those things where if he gets damaged, it'll end it. If you ask him to do something harmful to himself, it will end it.
Yeah.
But
The
he
tricky thing
probably
is,
listen.
it has to be reasonable. I don't know how reasonable it would be for him to.
Well, here's the
leave us.
thing. He was hesitant to fight you, and this is a knockdown, drag out fight. He swings his sword. There's a good chance he does 70 points of damage on people. He's ready to throw down, but he's also taking a lot of damage, and he's like, maybe I back off and just track you guys.
Yeah, I'll give it one shot, I think, before I turn to trying to add to damage. Because, he doesn't look like he's, heavily wounded or anything, right?
No.
All right, so I'll just sort of peek out from behind the tree, still a little bit of blood, going down the temple, and twist a little snake's tongue between my fingers, say, oh shoot, I forgot his name. Oh, Kajaro, I suggest that you report back to the Countess the the situation. I think she would prefer to be defended when those red hands come back.
Now I have a question for you.
Yes.
How far away did you run to hide?
Oh, yes. I did look at that. It's a 30-foot range.
Yes.
Can I walk, within 30 feet?
I'd let you walk within 30 feet of him.
Sorry, that did cross my mind 20 minutes ago.
It's worth bringing up.
The spell. So yeah, I would have to tree hop a little closer and probably not have cover if this doesn't work, but that's what I do.
Okay. So wisdom saving throw. And let me double click on Crizaro.
He could probably one-shot a lot of us, so trying to get out of
16 to save?
Oh no, it's 15.
Oh.
Can I use my inspiration to make him reroll?
I wouldn't allow you to use your inspiration, but I'd allow him to use his own.
You said it doesn't carry over.
Hold on, wait. No. You can't use your inspiration to make Crizaro reroll.
Oh, okay. That's fair.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. It's a good idea, and it's something we can consider.
So I look at him with big, doe eyes.
Parents, that bunny's looking delicious right now.
Oh.
I love bonbons. I know, right? And with that, Eldon, you're up.
Okay. All right. I'm having a lot of thoughts and feelings right now. Okay. I'm gonna first bonus action to get my hawk spirit up into the air for my spirit totem. And I think, okay. I'm gonna do this. Can I see any small woodland creatures anywhere within sight?
They're backing the heck away because of the wandering trees and the big fight that's occurring. They've been scared.
A squirrel,
What type of
a bird, something like that? A bird, preferably.
No, I can't say that you would.
Okay. Well, that makes this easier then. My other snake is 70 feet that way. So
Other snake?
it's about to be my other snake. So I'm just gonna dismiss that, and we're just gonna try this again. So I just essentially dismissed the big giant constrictor snake that's 70 feet away, and I'm gonna recast it. Just pull him in and throw him down in front, and he's gonna attack him again. So a second casting of Conjure Animals then.
Okie dokie. So I assume you're gonna come in, you're gonna make an attack.
And I rolled a 1. So
Oh, crit fail.
Oh no.
This poor snake. No teeth. It's like, how can you him? First to pull around.
oof.
And we go to the top of initiative. Doliris, you're up.
I haven't actually had to do this before, I think. How do I get out of melee range without attacking an attack of
Disengage.
opportunity? Right, okay. Yeah, let's do that. And look small and unthreatening.
If he threw a boulder, is he in melee with you?
He is technically in melee range. He has a melee range of 2.
He can hit me. I can't hit him, but him hitting me is the important thing right now.
Sure.
So, yeah. And that's my action, right? The disengage.
Mm-hmm. You still have bonus actions and reactions if you want to take them.
I do not have any of the. I don't have any. Wait, no, hold on. I have. I'm going to invoke one of my channel divinities to hide me from unfriendly eyes.
Ooh.
And Cloak of Shadows, so I'm invisible until next turn.
That's
I'll,
awesome.
Excellent.
Sneak away.
He had it out for you too, and he's just like, he can smell really well. He does have advantage on finding people smell, but he's like fee fi fo fum, he's just like, she's gone. He doesn't trust his smell because he would be able to see you if he could smell you. So it's going to be his turn. He's currently engaged with Rinian. He is going to Misty Step as his bonus action away from Rinian.
I'm gonna counterspell that.
You're going to counterspell it.
Ooh,
Yeah.
You do it, and you're just like, no.
Denied.
He
Stay
looks
here.
and he sees you.
Oh, whoops. Whew.
And an adversarial GM's like, and then he calls down the guy back. No. We can chill. Like, y'all are the heroes. You should kick Chrysaro's ass, and you are. Like, Rinian has done lots of damage to him, and the snakes have been causing him to use many of his spells. But he still has other spells he can cast. However, at this point, since he cannot use his bonus action to Misty Step away, he is going to turn his attention to Rinian.
Is he
And-
not, or does
He's not constricted.
Okay, the snake has to hit for that, right?
Yeah, I missed.
It's okay.
28 on the first attack,
That'll hit.
and 30 on the second, for a total of 42 points of piercing damage.
Yep.
Deep Morning Stars.
Tasty.
Oh.
Wow.
Yes. And with that, Quentin is up.
He's within like 30 feet or so, right? Of my current position, I believe. He was before. I was kind of behind the tree. He had moved up.
So, in abstract positioning purposes, you could probably hit him with a spell anywhere between 30 feet to beyond range. You could get in range with him, and it's not too precise. I could say you could hit him with a 30-foot spell if Bope could.
Okay. So when I pop out, I wave my finger. The Blanchette's got this, and I rush up, wielding the dragon tooth dagger, and I rolled a
Take advantage
with advantage.
from the Hawk Spirit.
Got totems.
That was worse than the second one. 24 to hit though.
Oh, well, okay.
Yeah. And this is Booming Blade, so thunder channels into it, and combination of magical piercing, thunder, poison, and sneak attack. Since the serpent is next to him still,
And Rinian.
And Rinian.
and Renian,
Mhm.
for 35 damage.
Oh, jeez.
Excellent.
Nice.
And then I will bonus action disengage as I run back to where I started from.
I was like, yeah.
Quentin ain't no
Jet-
fool.
Gesturing rudely at him the entire time. And if he moves, then he gets some more thunder damage.
All right.
Wow. Lock him
Moves
down.
using movement or leaves the space anyway.
Let me check the spell. I've never actually had it go off.
They usually die where they stand.
Rinian, did you make your concentration save for your moonbeam? We're checking.
I am good.
Cool.
It's good
Still
to
up
It
have,
says
it's good
willingly
to have
moves.
Oh wait. It's a certain amount of damage, right? Or it's a certain amount.
half
based
the
off
damage or 10, whichever's higher.
Oh,
Yep.
yeah, no, definitely not.
Okay.
It's that 5.
Booming Blade says if he willingly moves before.
I'm going to
Start
view
of, his next
move as movement. And if there is damage effects, and he moves at all, there will be damage. It's one of those things. I'm looking at a spell. No matter what option he uses, he'll probably take damage. And with that, Rinian, you are on deck.
Knowing once again that he's not long for this world and having to go all out, as he is not one to run away, Rinian will empower his blade once more, bonus actioning, placing Thunder Smite upon it. Then he'll go for his first attack with the blade. Getting a 18 to hit,
That is enough.
Nice.
doing max 12 physical slashing magical damage, and then the thunder smite goes off, imparting another 10 thunder damage, and then he needs to make a DC 13 strength save.
17 on his save.
He's fine. So he just doesn't get pushed, which is good because then I get to hit him with the second attack. Rinyu will go ahead and I'll go ahead and use my inspiration to reroll that 11 into a much more respectable 19 to hit.
19 hits.
Dealing another 8 magical slashing damage, and then he will impart I will impart another smite into it using a level 1 smite just to add a d8 worth of extra damage. Or no, 2 d8s worth of extra damage. As his blade, glowing green, hits him for another 11 radiant damage.
That's the hero of calling horns.
It is. It's the hero of calling horns. That's what you almost.
Calling horns.
He speaks it in like comedy. He's like, you know, there was a knight that passed through here and spoke the name of Renian. Reputation grows. And it's with that, yeah, you'll probably get the nickname Giant Slayer by the end of this. You've been fighting these giants, fire giants, cloud giants.
How many giants are there?
There's a lot.
There's a lot.
Do I want to collect them all?
Hill giants, yeah.
Gotta catch them all.
Gotta catch them all.
At least half a dozen.
And we move to Bope's turn.
All right. I kind of huff and puff a little bit that my magic has been ineffective thus far, except for that.
You did encounter.
Spell. Yes.
That was excellent.
I'll roll up my tiny
MVP.
robe sleeves and take out 3 acorns and fling them in succession as I cast Scorching Acorns.
I've seen Willow. I know how this goes. He's gonna turn to stone.
Okay, so the first one was a 10. That does not hit.
No.
The next one is a 16. Meets
That
beats.
hits.
And the next one was 24. So I get
Last 2 hit.
46. Come on. Okay, slightly higher than average. Okay, that is 12. No, that's not higher than average.
It's still pretty good. I think 12.5 would be the D&D
Yeah.
math equivalent of half.
Oh, well.
Doing a lot of CR calculations, I know this.
Yeah.
With that, you land the scorching acorns on him. He seems extremely agitated as Eldon is on deck now.
Well, yeah. All right. So, conjure flame. We're just gonna We're gonna lob a little fireball at him. For a 20 to hit.
20 definitely hits.
And that does a grand total of 7 fire damage. But then my big snake boy is gonna do his constrict attack.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna use my inspiration to give him advantage.
Do that.
Okay, that's a 20. There we go. Dirty.
20
Not
hits. What's the damage?
Okay.
Constricted.
6. 10 points of magical bludgeoning damage, and he is grappled and restrained.
Oh.
Got it. And Deliris, you are on deck. Invisible.
Tomorrow grants me the strength to carry on the fight. Throw a level 3 cure spell on myself now. And I will do the math, 12. Ugh. That's an awful roll, but I'll take it. 12 healing back. And Renian was injured, right?
Oh yeah, he's looking kind of smashed.
Okay. I have a bonus action this time. I'm going to cast a 3rd level healing word. Shit. I don't think I have words for this.
They're both level.
Tamori's benevolent gaze upon you. And right? I still have. Yeah, okay, that's my.
Chimera says a couple butterfly stitches and walk it off, cupcake.
Okay, I want you rolling 3d4 plus 4. That's 13, which is what I just rolled, but they were 3d8 plus 4 and a good. Whatever dice roller. Renian, take 13 health.
Thank you. Renian feels buoyed by, or I feel buoyed by Delirious' words.
Excellent. Anything else out of Delirious?
No, that was it.
On the giant.
I am moving away from the giant.
Yes. On the giant's turn, he turns into a misty cloud.
Is that a spell?
Rolls out of the ground.
Is that a
It
spell?
is a spell.
Can I counterform that? Counter
You
spell
can give it a
that?
shot.
Counter. Yeah. All right. So I got to roll for it. Okay.
No,
So-
it works, and he just goes, "Ugh," and he starts to turn into mist and reforms, and he just sort of looks around. And he's like, "I surrender." He surrenders.
Renian holds his blade.
Do not call off the snake yet, but I don't ask it to squeeze either.
Okay. So for these purposes, if anyone wants to finish off the giant, you can, or you
Quentin
can
does.
honor the surrender. All right.
Yeah, I look at Quentin.
Yeah.
Shit.
Like,
He was
the
torturing
giant
that
dies.
dragon. He was
Yeah.
torturing that dragon.
yeah, no.
So when I
sympathy.
step out of the behind the tree this time, I've got the face of Venger Hornbright on, my Cult of the Dragon personality, and I've got the dragon tooth dagger in my hand, and I rush up to him for the Cult of the Dragon, and I sink it deep into him.
That's very good. It's Countess
thigh?
Suri, when she examines this, she's going to dragon cultists. I knew it. First, the worm smoke, the dragon cultists, the two dragon cults are working hand in hand. This is a conspiracy, and she has her like red line map. And with that, you dispatch.
Can I throw a first level magic missile in there just to help finish him off?
Yeah, I'll let it. They'll hit him.
I let out an evil cackle, and then I say, "Thank you for the assistance, Emerald Enclave."
Say you're welcome.
Oh my God.
You're welcome. And some of my wounds start to heal.
Have we ever seen this this persona?
You know that I put it together after I made the deal with the
Okay.
Fey Market.
So I'm not about to try to smite the shit out of it. Got it.
No, you've definitely seen this one before. In its early phases, this is its dramatic reveal.
Guys, I
Yes,
know
indeed.
I know what Quentin's like text line is. His thing. Some men just want to watch the world burn.
How does the
Others
party
make it
handle
happen.
this? He surrendered and one lowered their blade, and then the other one finished off. I'd like to see the interaction between Rinian and Quentin after this, just out of curiosity.
Yes. Unfortunately, as it was, you are probably the right in this, Quentin. Though I do not like it. His actions carry consequences.
Oh, you're muted. Quentin.
He knows he's muted. He wants us to read his lips.
Oh.
Read my lips.
Hey,
Sorry, I was monologuing. It was
To himself.
saying that I'm not
You know.
bloodthirsty.
Oh, that's good.
I don't always kill those who surrender, but he would have betrayed us. And the Cult of the Dragon.
just
Oh,
As they
feel-
say in Menzo Baranzan, you snooze, you lose.
He
remember-
also threw the first boulder as I
Quentin.
brushed my shoulder.
He totally did.
You lied to him.
That was Mr. Peppers.
I throw another carrot.
I never lied to him. I did not
No.
speak one untruth
Both
to that
did.
giant.
Bob did.
Oh well, yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
He did seek to hinder the light of that bronze dragon, while at the same time casting cruel evils upon it. Though I do say to you as well, Quentin, Pope, your own actions may have consequences down the road, so do watch yourselves.
Your words are noted, Renyon. It seemed like he was too much of a threat.
I think that was the right call.
Yeah, honestly, Eldon looks really frustrated with the whole situation because everyone's just acting shitty. Just, God damn it, he just like snatches the snake out of the air and it just into green dust, basically, and just kind of shuffles off into the trees a little bit to like grumble and kick at the dirt.
Hellwhip
man.
follows behind you
He's
to
just
attempt to
disappointed.
comfort.
Oh,
You'll just listen. She won't nag.
I know.
Oh, but
Oh.
I know this really isn't the mechanical use of this ability, but if you're okay with it, since it's already dead, to use once they are done and we are getting ready to take off, using Nature's Wrath to call upon spectral vines to bring this giant below the earth.
I like that. Yeah. I like the artistic use of the spell, which we would allow. With that said as well, is there any examination of the giant?
As it's sinking into the ground. Wait!
Hold on! He had giant pumpkin seeds!
More seeds.
Look, Crucero had a great blade, and
Morningstar.
he seemed to be Morningstar.
Very big Morningstar. I saw it up close, very, very twice actually.
Yeah,
Very,
I mean,
very large.
I'll climb into his pouch to investigate it.
So, he does have the large Morningstar. The Morningstar is normal, but you do find that the bracers on his wrists seem to be of miraculous quality. Dare we say, wondrous make.
Would you like me to take a better look at that?
I'll start unlacing them or cutting his wrists off, whatever is easier.
Remove his hands. You're like
But
me. We
that's-
captured the mage. Remove his jaw so he can't cast spells and cut off his hands. And they're like, Grant. I'm like, I'm from 2nd edition, y'all. That's the way we roll.
Let's not desecrate the dead.
No, you're not going to. But yeah, so you're able to remove the bracers. And Bope, are you doing the Bope thing?
I'm doing the boat thing.
All right. So your identify spell reveals that these are in fact bracers of defense. They are a wondrous item. They would require attunement to use them, but the wearer would get +2 bonus to their armor class if they are wearing no armor and using no shield.
Oh, who do we know who does that?
They're monk bracers.
or wizard bracers,
Or wizard.
as the case may be.
At that, I pull out the circlet. Like, oh, guys, we forgot to assign this.
The Iron Stone?
The Iron Stone.
Where'd
Little
you
rock?
get-
That would do.
Wait, where did you get that?
Oh. Oh.
We
Oh.
found it in the swamp.
Yes.
You found a
You didn't
magic
see
rock and
when we were going through the water. We picked up some stone. It was smooth, and then we fashioned a little circlet out of.
How about let's just say I don't want to know.
But now you know. Good
Do
news.
I though?
You're
you have
catching
a
on
magic
quick,
rock.
Renyon. This is better for your state of mind anyway.
Well, this is.
I don't think long term it is.
It is. You know, ignorance is bliss. It's
Perhaps it is much like the carpet, and it is but an item to be borrowed for the time being.
How dare you speak that way about Nimble?
Nimble's
Right.
Well, now
like
you're
waving a
friends.
tassel at you.
Wait, Nimble's here?
Nimble's always
Sure he
with
is.
us.
Nimble like
always
wraps
here.
himself, like around Olyris.
So
Like a lap carpet, like a lap
so,
dog.
so
It's
it
like Nimble.
should count as like a blade of armor then. It hits the carpet first and it
Yeah.
takes some of the blow.
No, I couldn't bear for my carpet to fray.
It would decrease her dex stat. Well, where it came from doesn't really matter. The fact is, it's ours, and it will improve somebody's defenses. Who looks squishy? I look at Renyon.
He's not squishy so much as
Renyan
the
has
tank.
been squished, but is not squishy.
Yeah.
Innately, not that squishy.
Now, we keep running into these creatures that singularly are very strong and very
Plus
powerful.
12 to hit.
Yeah, it's kind of like a...
It's
There's something
concerning.
to be said.
Oh, a 30 to hit. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
it's a 30 hit.
that's fine. Fine.
There's something to be said for improving his defenses so that he's harder to hit because he is often, our front line of defense.
Running to the front to protect everyone else? Yes.
Yeah.
Sometimes in his PJs or whatever in the middle of the night.
The naked
You
paladin.
notice
The naked
Pete
paladin.
and Tobias come out of the woodwork, literally. They cowered while the cloud giant. They run up to like Renyan too. They're like, "Dude, that was awesome."
I did nothing special. I merely distracted the giant.
Would you sign my sword? He says, and he holds up his little bones sword.
Renyan pulls out his stamp.
Renyan. Renyan.
What?
She's like,
Tobias's
they're my
head.
followers.
Tobias is like dangly snakehead, kind of dropped down to Quentin too. He's like, and you show that giant. He's what we call where I come from, a varmint scoundrel.
Would you like to know more about the Cult of the Dragon?
I did.
And like his eyes kind of go off Disney like, and then see Delirious. He goes, I'm not saying I deny the literature. And out of curiosity and to make a clear comparison, and it would be interesting to hear the discourse and disputations between
Yes.
the patron saint of Timora, Delirious, and like they've elevated, they're like making false idols out of soap and metal. And like they're bad. But they go, perhaps we have some discussions, fireside chats. And they do seem somewhat interested, but also leery of getting on Delirious's bad side, lest she wrap them in a carpet and have them dropped off a cliff.
Why do they have this terrible image of me? What have
Well, it is
I ever
fully within your
done?
capabilities now.
But the carpet
I mean, it is.
flies.
Yeah, sure, I can do it.
They get wrapped up and dropped off.
Delirious, little do you know, that is not a carpet of flying. That is a rug of smothering.
Maniacal laugh.
Maniacal laugh.
Maniacal laugh. So at this point, you do have a variety of loot that you're kind of dangling out now, and the bracers will shrink to the size of the person that attunes with them.
Yeah. That was important.
Fortunate.
They're currently big.
Renyan, do you have a little stone floating around your head now?
You can attune with it if you'd like.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, he does. His ill-gotten gains.
Just don't ask questions.
Renyan's trying to put his hood.
It floats around the hood.
There's like this little like halo in the hood.
It just floats around the hood.
I like that. Yeah, and it was a desert rose-colored ion stone, and is now currently attuned to Renyan. And did anyone take the bracers and attune them during this time?
Am I the only one who would benefit from this?
Yeah, I think all the rest of us wear armor, so
And
Okay.
or shields.
I-
And or shields. Yeah.
and or shields.
Take off the ring and say, Eldon, would you like this ring of bark skin? You have to remember to use an action to activate it, which I seem to fail to do as my memory slips day after day. But it may continue to work as you become a spider.
Oh,
Yeah, you haven't done your spider in a while.
you're right. I haven't done the spider thing in a while. I'm branching out, trying new things. You know,
Mm.
I'll come back to it. But no, you're right. That would be pretty useful in B shape. Yeah.
All right.
You sure? You sure, Bo?
Well, with these bracers, I mean, I don't want to be the tank, you know.
I hear you, and I just kind of like
Did you guys hear that little
Rinian's
chuckle?
direction.
That smug little old man chuckle, like, but I could.
If I get flattened by another boulder, maybe we'll.
You put the bracers on Mr. Pepper's little legs.
Yes.
Very good guy.
Super bunny.
Put the ring of barkskin around one of his ears, just like a napkin ring, you know.
Say, Renian, would you like me to draw like a little face on your stone? I've got the magical quill that'll write on anything. Could put a little smiley face on it or a symbol of Sylvanas.
It should be a frowny face to match his expression.
Let us not insult anyone's deities at this time. Perhaps perhaps in a place that is more spiritual, we could find the time to do such.
To put a frowny face on an ion stone?
No, to put a symbol of Sylvanas.
Oh yeah, I guess that's more appropriate for you.
Option 2.
Seems like you're co-opting people's religions there. Ion is a deity, as far as I'm aware. Like, no, we're gonna make this a Sylvanus stone right now.
Retcon.
They're just erasing that little copyright trademark sign right on the stone.
So I'm going to do a silent image one more time, showing a giant-sized Emerald Enclave dagger, and kind of a shout out to all the trees and shrubs that are listening. That's how we deal with people who oppose the Enclave.
You hear a lot of like rattling of the leaves and like affirmation, like, yeah.
And then I point to Renian. Renian the Giant Slayer!
Rattle louder. Some of the leaves fall. They're embarrassed. It's a problem with Radiant. Radiant is going to be like, they've given me 9 titles, epithets, and I just want to sleep without getting gianted the next day.
Well, I think it's very appropriate that he has like a tree fan club. You know, Paladin of Sylvanus. Like, it makes sense that like some, birches are like, fainting at your presence.
Yeah, it's thematic. Yeah.
You have all
Oath
kinds
the
of
Ancients.
fans. You have carpets, horses, lizard folk, Yuan-Ti, trees.
Guards. Yep.
Beardless dwarves.
Oh, very confusing.
Yeah, he had an accident. I made a few rolls. And with that, the rest of the trip is fairly straightforward. Now, I would need Bope to make a nature check or survival in order to trek your way to Shadowtop without... you're not being impeded, though, so this is just traversing the many trees. They are not trying to hide the trails.
All right, much better, 21.
Way better! You come to a large outcropping of very, very, very tall trees. You can tell that this is a sacred place for druids of this order, where they come and they meet.
Order. Sorry.
Your order. There are technically some of them are Enclave, some of them not. But these are specific druids typically come to meet here. However, there are currently no druids here. But what you do see is a large, towering, huge creature. He is built out of the forest and plants itself. And this is a treant, a massive one. A history check would reveal his name. So if one of you want to make that with advantage, if the whole group is assisting, to see if anyone might know. And then if you get a DC 15, you might know who he is. And he is currently playing chess with a dragon.
Of course he is.
I will.
You want to do it?
Yeah.
Go for it.
Knowing names of trees, right? That's a thing. I got
That
a
probably
20.
is.
Nice.
That's good enough. You know that you've heard stories of an treant named Turlang, and Turlang is the keeper and caretaker of this Shadowtop region. Legendarily known spellcaster, and essentially is currently entertaining Fogalos.
Will nudge Bope. He's well known for his spellcasting book. Perhaps you
Ooh.
could learn
Wow, I
something.
fit right in here.
Do you though?
He's a keeper of this grove, so let us not disrupt any of his sacred items.
I'm not gonna pretend to be one of them.
AKA, let's not steal anything. okay?
Anymore?
Yeah, I got that warning.
Okay.
I don't know why you think we'd steal things.
So they haven't quite picked up on the group's presence yet because they seem to be deep into their game. And you are all much smaller than them. They are both two huge creatures.
I would respectfully approach.
Turling turns his head and Fogelus is like, "My dudes!" and like kind of fans his wings. He's very excited to see you. Turling kind of looks and like cocks his head sideways, like, "You're friends with these people that are just coming into our sacred site, like uninvited?" But they don't seem to have any disputations yet. Fogelus is very excited.
Give a bow to the keeper and nod to Fogelus.
And pardon us, keeper of the Shadow Top. Felgalos requested we find him here. I hope our presence doesn't displease you.
He speaks in Sylvan. Do any of you understand it?
Yes.
The druid does.
And
Druid
the, oath
does.
of, and the Oath of the Ancients, Paladin.
Yes. You can tell that he's attempting to speak in a language and be misunderstood, but he sees the look of recognition in your eyes and is like, it's cool for them to be here, and kind of lowers his guard. He asks if you dealt with the giant that had been making a mess in the woods.
Yes, he is now one with the forest.
We buried him in it.
In more direct terms.
He thinks about this and he says, "How would you suggest I plan for a counterattack from the cloud giants? They could come here in larger numbers."
I'm looking at Quentin subtly.
Yes, Quentin. How do you think they should prepare for a counterattack since their giant has been slain in this forest?
The cloud giants were seeking Felgalas, so if he leaves, they should be good. They're also after anything draconic, so as long as they don't have any caches of dragon knowledge here, they should be fine. You don't have any, do you?
So what you're saying is that we need to be very obvious upon departure.
Yes.
The Turling responds in Treant as well, or Sylvan as well. You notice he understands the common. He is intentionally being snobbish as a tree. He says, "Well, even," and he's speaking the Sylvan, so Felgalos doesn't understand everything he's saying. He explains. He goes, he motions to the chessboard. He goes, "We very clearly have no knowledge of dragon here." Because
Felgalos winning?
Well, Turling assumes that he's about to win, but that's when Felgalos puts him into mate quickly. He's like, "Let's get out of here, y'all!" It's one of those things where he had been playing under his level to not incur the wrath and to take advantage of the healing. So with that, the treant seems disappointed in being bested by a dragon. And he's like, "So you're leaving, I assume?"
Yes.
Yes, I imagine the sooner the better.
Still have someone to save to the south. Several days travel even by dragon wing. So I believe the quicker we leave, the better. As much as I would love to spend time and learn from you, Keeper.
He asks if you know roughly the whereabouts of where you're headed. He seems in deep thought now, where he's like, and he seems to be like doing like a computation in his head, taking together the various fact pattern that's been presented. A dragon hanging around when he could have won the chess match and left at any time, and you. So he's like, roughly, where are you looking to get?
Somewhere, it's just south of Baldur's Gate, I believe. Name of the town escapes me.
Drellin's Ferry, near the Snakewood.
He asks if you would like. He essentially says he's willing to make you a deal. He can take you to his magic circle, teleportation, and he can send you to Baldur's Gate that far, or you can travel on your own accord. But he wants a condition if he grants you the fast travel.
What is it you would request of us?
Felgalos head to Yartar in Beliard in that region. He says there's Zentarum to deal with. They've been harassing members of the Enclave in that area, and he thinks that the dragon could upset their operations.
So could I.
You like doing that sort of thing, don't you, Felgalos?
He's like, they have wagons. I see them, I tip them. He finger wings.
The assistances, for the assistances that he has provided us, I do not see. I see what, Quentin?
Map-wise, Baldur's Gate, Yartar, and then our ultimate destination. Is that what I'm hearing?
Here's what he's saying. He's saying he can teleport you to Baldur's Gate, but he's not going to send Felgalos with you. He wants Felgalos to go deal with a problem up here in the Deseret Valley.
Right.
Or you can travel longer and you will have the dragon with you on the way until he needs to depart, which is dependent on his needs. He was willing to take you there, though.
That sounds like it's a question for Felgalos and what he wants to do.
He's like, well, I do like shorter trips, and I do like punishing Zents. And I do owe this tree a great deal, seeing how he patched me up. But I also owe you a great deal, seeing as you delivered my life to me. Ultimately, the choice is yours. I'm not confident I could necessarily get you to Baldur's Gate as quickly as the teleportation circle.
And I don't think...
We call it a favor owed, and we'll see you again another time.
Yeah, he explains that if you are looking for him and you are in the Deseret Valley, or you come up this way, he will find you. And if you give him an address to check on in the region, and you have any messages or any needs from him, send a courier. He'll find it. Word will get to him.
Do you have an address in this area, Felgalos? Somewhere I could send a messenger, maybe, if we're nearby?
He says one of his agents works in the Calling Horns. There's a watcher. Her name's Eudoxia.
We've met. Thanks.
Hellwhip snorts.
Did you want to pass the dagger back to him to get to her?
I think probably so. Yeah. It's like, well,
What?
sorry about this, but my horse took your friend's dagger.
Turling looks so betrayed and just kind of looks at Bope like, and then points to the teleportation circle and waves. He's like, you get out of here. You can tell he doesn't mean any ill. He's just like, aw, they deceived my trees.
We also saved the tree. Okay.
Yeah, he appreciates that too. He explains, he says, and he actually says, you know, he's very gracious that because you did not harm the trees, you know, he does consider you friend of the forest.
Aw. Trees are still terrifying.
Wouldn't have it any other way, Sterling.
They're not supposed to hiss.
Neither are roaches, but some still do. I don't know, if you ask me. Oh, sweet summer child.
I thought you were going to say those sweet summer roaches. Okay.
And with that, the party is invited to step onto his teleportation circle. It's out of the way. It's in the far corner of the cathedral. You can see that there are 4 teleportation circles that go to various places in the Sword Coast. One of them does take you near Baldur's Gate. It's not in the city proper.
Can I look very closely?
Probably for the best that it's not in the city itself.
Right.
Yeah.
Pop out with a dragon.
The dragon's not coming with us.
No, the dragon's going to fly to the Desert Valley.
Oh, right,
Speaking of, before we are spirited away, so that I didn't buy this copper wire and polishing oil for nothing. Like, I guess we don't have time to do this now, but Felgalas, I got this for you to help patch you up in case my meager efforts were not enough.
Right. So, he comes out and he takes a look at the wire and these amazing things that you have presented, and seems very impressed that small folk would be willing to show such care and be willing to tend to him. However, he takes a look at it, and then he kind of says, I'm not a copper dragon, I'm a bronze dragon. But if you'd like, I'll wear it for you.
I turn and I glare at Quentin.
Vendra says, where is that Quentin fellow?
Well, this was intended to be a gift. You don't have to do anything with it. I just thought it would be helpful.
You can tell that his heart's touched, though. He goes, it will be. And then he kind of looks at Turtling. He's like, you wouldn't mind doing a dragon one final favor and stringing me up with some of that stuff to make sure my scales stay in place. And with that, we fade to black on episode 4 of season 2
Nice.
of the Velkyn Weave. Great session, y'all. Really appreciate you hanging in there and toughing out a fight. I know sometimes in combat we get confused with like the fictional positioning. It's helpful with the grid, but just know I'll typically favor the players because I assume everyone's acting in the best faith of the fictional positioning. And if I ever need to offer more clarifications, I'm happy to do so. And it was a fair fight, and you did a good job of taking out Crisaro because he sure as heck hits hard.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah. And so let me pull up my screen. Helpful that I have too many show monitors. So huge thank you to everyone. We exceeded our tavern upkeep goal by over 120%. Tavern upkeep is how we upgrade our productions and make better shows. Your bits and cheers do so much to continue to help us to make this great content. Corey, why don't you let us know some of our Patreon patron shoutouts tonight?
Yes, and recognition for our regular Patreon supporters. We appreciate you so much for staying supporters. So shout out to Harper Jean and Baratus23. Thank you for your patronage and your support. You too can get some great behind-the-scenes content on the Games Tavern Patreon with some sweet content drops on Wednesdays and Fridays. So check us out there.
And don't forget to subscribe to the Games Tavern YouTube channel. Shield slam that bell to ensure that you get notifications when new videos are uploaded. Liking and commenting on the videos helps us greatly while getting the word out about the show. Those algorithms are yet another fey plot that we must beat through superior firepower and clicks. It makes a huge difference in what you can bring to you as the show grows.
Shield smash that bell. And charm person the subscribe button. All right, folks. Thank you all for watching. See you next week.
All right. Bye.
Good night.